A former Denver doctor convicted of drugging and assaulting women he met on dating apps was sentenced to more than a century in prison.
A Morrison police officer accused of domestic violence and child abuse. Tonight, 9 News Investigates turned up some troubling incidents prior to his arrest.
And the McDonald's E. coli outbreak involving contaminated quarter pounders is growing.
A judge sentenced a former cardiologist from Denver to 158 years in prison today. Jury convicted Stephen Matthews of drugging 11 women, sexually assaulting 8 of them. Today, some of those victims had their day in court. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kyle Clark.
And I'm Alexandra Lewis. We've been following this case since Matthews was arrested back in March of 2023. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us now to tell us what some of his victims had to say in court today.
Victims and their loved ones shared the pain and trauma they've endured since their individual meetings with Stephen Matthews. And based on what he's done to countless women, a judge sentenced him to be put away for life. For more than 4 hours, former cardiologist Stephen Matthews sat and listened to women he sexually assaulted and hurt over the course of 5 years. Victims took the stand to share their trauma with the court for the last time.
I am scarred by what happened to me that afternoon. I have been in therapy for the last 18 months. Stephen Matthews took away what normal looks like for me. I developed debilitating anxiety and PTSD when having sexual encounters, where men touching me made me tremble and cry.
Investigators say Matthews would meet women on dating apps and take them to his home where he would give them drinks that were drugged.
I don't think there are words to describe what it felt like to know that I was losing control of my ability to function and protect myself, and that there was nothing I could do to stop it from happening.
The case is based on the accounts of 11 women. However, prosecutors have said in court there are likely dozens of more victims.
He took away my freedom. He took away my ability to live a carefree existence.
Matthews was convicted of 35 counts earlier this year. Judge Eric Johnson deemed Matthews a sexually violent predator who would likely violate someone again if released.
And in here today, there is a room full of pain. And this is pain that you have caused your victims. Mr. Matthews, you have diminished this world. You have dimmed many of its lights. You've hurt our society, and it's a darker place because of you.
Denver District Attorney Beth McCann put out a statement saying she was pleased with the sentence from the judge. She says if anyone ever takes advantage of others the way Matthews did, they will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Janelle Finch, 9 News.
It actually felt like it was supposed to today, fall-like, but changes are on the way. We're eyeing some potential records starting this weekend before the possibility of snow in the middle of next week. Corey, it's like we got summer on the weekend, then a little bit of fall and some frost and maybe even snow during the week.
Yeah, you hit it on the nail tonight. I mean, today's low and high were both right there, close to average, so we'll call this a fall day. We've got some summer conditions coming in the weekend and then some winter as well. So this fall forecast has it all. We do have a few frost warnings out there tonight. It's going to be a cold morning once again tomorrow. These areas in blue have that frost advisory. It's going to be even colder to the north, but those areas have already had their freeze for this winter, so no need to add another one there. Here's the forecast. Low temperatures for the morning, likely staying in the middle to upper 30s here in the Denver metro area. And then on Saturday, we're going to warm things up even warmer than it was this afternoon. 74 degrees, high temperature, mostly sunny tomorrow with some light winds. And we are tracking those impact headlines for you. The warm weekend will last Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with near record temperatures on Sunday and Monday. That will come with elevated wildfire danger because of those gusty winds and dry conditions. But we are also tracking the next winter storm, which should come in on Tuesday. We're talking about mountain snow and also snow right here in the Denver metro area. Even a chance for some accumulation. I'll talk about that coming up in the forecast.
Westminster police say a student in the Adams 12 school district avoided a kidnapping today. Happened just after 7 o'clock this morning on West 125th Avenue between Mountain Range High School and Silver Hills Middle School. Police say a girl told them she was threatened by a driver who had a gun, told her to get into his car. The student said the driver then tried to grab her backpack. She made it safely to school and reported what happened. The girl said the man was driving a silver car. Police have not released any further description of the car or the suspect.
A man who police say posed as a rideshare driver and sexually assaulted women in the Denver area has been convicted. 41-year-old John Pastor Mendoza has been convicted of 20 charges. A report says between 2018 and 2022, he picked up women outside of Denver bars who were expecting rideshare, and he would sexually assault them in his car or take them to another location. Surveillance video from the nightclub Tracks helped identify Pastor Mendoza. He's set to be sentenced in March.
After charging a teenager with murder for a shooting 2 weekends ago, the DA in Adams County now says the shooter was actually a different teenager. The shooting happened at Rotella Park back on October 12th. 2 teenagers were shot. One of them was killed. Days after the incident, the Adams County Sheriff's Office arrested a teenager for that shooting. Today, the DA's office charged a different teenager with murder. They say the original suspect now only faces a weapons charge.
The man accused of killing 2 people in a dorm room at the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, had his arraignment delayed today. Police say Nicholas Jordan killed his roommate and another woman back in February. An arrest affidavit says Jordan threatened to kill his roommate after he left a bag of trash near Jordan's door. Today, Jordan appeared in court where his defense attorneys asked for a 6-week postponement. They argued Jordan is unable to assist in his defense because he is, quote, severely mentally ill. This comes after 2 separate evaluations done in the Springs determined Jordan was competent to stand trial. His next arraignment is scheduled for November 22nd.
Longmont police have arrested a Morrison police officer on suspicion of domestic violence and child abuse. An arrest warrant obtained by 9 News Investigates says Officer Richard Norton handcuffed his 2 kids tight enough to cause pinch marks on their wrists, did it as punishment. The affidavit also raised concerns that Norton had told the children how he would break into his ex's home and kill her and her husband. Our investigative team looked into his law enforcement career, and handcuffs have come up as an issue in the past. This is video from 2020 showing Norton when he worked for Broomfield Police. After an arrest, a woman escaped from Norton's car. He was determined to get his handcuffs back. He admitted that they were not issued by his department.
Where'd the other cuffs go? You threw them off? Where?
You have to pay for your handcuffs?
Yeah, those were my personal ones.
Broomfield reprimanded Norton for the arrest before he resigned in 2022. Because of that discipline, Morrison's police chief needed to explain to the state why he was hiring Norton when he got picked up in Morrison. In a letter from January last year, Chief Bill Vanelli wrote, "The information we've gathered does not preclude him from being a good fit as an officer for our department." Today, Chief Vanelli declined to comment. Norton's scheduled to be arraigned in November. While that criminal case plays out, the chief says Norton's on unpaid leave, which started about a week ago.
Today, the CDC reported at least 75 people now have gotten sick after eating McDonald's Quarter Pounders linked to a deadly E. coli strain. There's a map of the 13 states currently affected. Colorado is the epicenter with 26 cases and 1 death. The CDC opened up the investigation Tuesday, initially reporting 49 cases in 10 states. McDonald says Taylor Farms is the source of potentially tainted onions on the burgers. The company is based out of California, but has a warehouse in Colorado Springs. Today, the fast food giant announced it will indefinitely stop sourcing onions from that facility at the center of the E. coli investigation. A man in Greeley became the first to file suit against McDonald's earlier this week. Rural communities across Colorado can look forward to saving some money on their electric bill thanks to new federal funding.
U.S. Department of Agriculture awarded nearly $3 billion tax dollars to Tri-State Generation through its Empowering Rural America program. Goal is to reduce the rates paid by co-op members by 10%. There's a 10-year timeline on that. The funds will help Tri-State retire its previously coal-powered energy source, replace it with a renewable energy source. The department also plans to invest in 2 power companies in rural northern Colorado. Those investments are expected to lower climate pollution by almost 6 million tons a year. Funding is also expected to help rural communities in 3 other states.